A monopoly exists when a single firm dominates an entire market, controlling the supply of a specific product or service. This lack of competition gives monopolies significant power over pricing and output, often leading to higher prices for consumers and reduced overall economic welfare. Monopolies can arise for various reasons, including exclusive control over essential resources, government regulations that limit competition, and economies of scale that make it difficult for new firms to enter the market. Consider the example of a small town with only one well. If a single company gains control of that well, it becomes a monopolist in the water market. Residents have no alternative sources of water and are forced to pay the price set by the company, regardless of how high it may be. This scenario illustrates the basic principle of monopoly power, the ability to dictate terms to consumers due to a lack of competition. The study of monopolies is crucial in economics because it helps us understand how market power can distort prices, reduce consumer surplus, and lead to inefficient allocation of resources. By analyzing the causes and consequences of monopolies, economists can develop policies aimed at promoting competition and mitigating the negative impacts of monopoly power. Monopolies often persist due to barriers to entry, which are obstacles that prevent new firms from entering a market and competing with existing firms. These barriers can be natural, artificial, or government-created, each with its own implications for market competition. One significant barrier is the control of essential resources. If a single firm controls a resource vital for production, like a rare mineral or a strategic location, it can effectively block competitors from entering the market. For instance, De Beers' control over diamond mines in the 20th century gave it a near monopoly on the diamond market, allowing it to influence prices and supply. Governments can also create monopolies through regulations that limit competition. This can involve granting exclusive rights to a single firm to provide a particular good or service, such as patents for new inventions or licenses for broadcasting frequencies. While these measures can incentivize innovation, they can also create monopolies that harm consumers. Finally, natural monopolies arise when a single firm can supply a good or service to an entire market at a lower cost than multiple firms. This often occurs in industries with high fixed costs, such as utilities like electricity or water supply. In these cases, having multiple competing firms would lead to wasteful duplication of infrastructure and higher costs for consumers. Unlike firms in competitive markets, monopolies have considerable power over setting prices and output levels. In a competitive market, numerous firms compete, driving prices down to the point where they equal the marginal cost of production. Monopolists, however, face no such pressure. Since a monopolist is the sole provider, it faces a downward-sloping demand curve, meaning it can sell more units at a lower price or fewer units at a higher price. This gives them the ability to choose a price and output combination that maximizes their profits, even if it means setting prices higher and producing less than what would be socially optimal. Imagine a pharmaceutical company that develops a life-saving drug with no close substitutes. As the sole provider, they can charge a high price for the drug, even if the cost of production is relatively low. This ability to set prices above marginal cost is a key characteristic of monopolies and a source of their economic profits. Section 4. Welfare costs. The price of monopoly. The operation of monopolies creates several welfare costs for society, including deadweight loss, reduced consumer surplus, and potential for rent-seeking behavior. These costs stem from the monopolist's ability to restrict output and charge prices above the competitive level. Deadweight loss represents the loss of economic efficiency that occurs when a monopoly restricts output and raises prices. Consumers who are priced out of the market due to the higher prices represent a loss of potential transactions that would have benefited both consumers and producers in a competitive market. Moreover, monopolies lead to a transfer of surplus from consumers to producers. Consumers face higher prices and receive less of the product, while the monopolist enjoys higher profits due to their market power. This transfer of wealth from consumers to producers is a distributional concern and can exacerbate income inequality. Section 5. Public policy. Addressing monopoly power. Governments have various policy tools at their disposal to address the potential harms of monopolies and promote competition in the market. These policies aim to prevent the formation of monopolies, regulate their behavior, or mitigate the negative consequences of their existence. Antitrust laws are a cornerstone of competition policy. These laws prohibit anti-competitive practices such as price fixing, bid rigging, and mergers that would create or strengthen monopolies. By enforcing these laws, governments aim to prevent firms from engaging in behavior that harms competition and harms consumers. In cases of natural monopolies, direct regulation is often employed. This can involve setting price caps, mandating service quality standards, or requiring the monopolist to provide access to their infrastructure to competitors. This ensures that consumers are protected from excessive prices and that essential services are provided efficiently. Public ownership is another option, though less common today. In some cases, governments may choose to nationalize monopolies, especially those providing essential services like utilities. While this can ensure affordability and access, it also comes with potential drawbacks, such as inefficiency and political interference. The effectiveness of these policies varies, depending on the specific market context and the implementation of the policies. Nevertheless, addressing monopolies and promoting competition remain crucial goals for policymakers seeking to foster economic efficiency and protect consumer welfare.